going on, everybody? I'm Aslan Hajavandi. More importantly, that is Michael Langston, recruiting analyst for Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminoles sports source. Welcome into the recruiting chat with Michael Langston. Hit the thumbs up button. We certainly would appreciate it. Subscribe. That button is also lower right corner next to Michael. Michael, it's been a minute since we've done one of these. How you been, man?
I'm good, man. Almost getting over all these crazy ailments I've had for it's been the worst month in the world. So I'm definitely October has not been fun. November wasn't much better, or the month before October wasn't much better. So I'm doing a lot better. I'm almost there. Getting better, and I'm ready to roll.
So it's like as your health declined, Florida State's football team got
Maybe I
better.
just need to be sick all the time. I mean,
Man,
maybe that's the key. But no, it's been fun. Certainly a big turnaround, 3 straight wins, big opportunity this weekend. So yeah, definitely we've seen a big turnaround as far as FSU. It's definitely fun, certainly to cover when things are more positive.
So what has been going on the last 2-3 weeks amid this win streak, Michael? Are guys? Is it more about guys just firming up, or are there new targets kind of emerging and they're making headway?
Well, I think there's new targets. For those that missed it, I just popped a 12 to watch. It's on the board. You can read. It's a lot of new targets in there. Certainly, I think new targets it's helped with the turnaround, but also I signified that North Carolina game as the game where really started to see your recruits being much more comfortable. It's like basically like, hey, this is what we signed up for. We're seeing the turnaround. We're seeing the growth in front of our eyes. The commits felt a lot more comfortable with what they're seeing. You see a lot less. There's a lot more activity. When they reach out to me, a lot of times they're reaching out to me more than I'm reaching out to them. So that tells you a lot about their comfort level and what they're seeing on the field. And certainly it's been quite positive as far as the guys that FSU has committed, but also guys that are seriously considering them. Guys like Kevin Coleman, guys like Jordan Armello. Those guys, they see a big difference in what the team's doing, and certainly you know the chances are going up as far as those guys because of the results on the field. Because the results on the field have to mean something, no matter what recruit it is. So I think that's a big deal to see this turnaround already. 3-4, got a shot this weekend to be 500. Aslan, we never thought we'd reach that point, probably all year, and they got a shot if they can certainly put it all together again and execute like they're capable of. I think it's a big deal, and I think recruits are excited again.
All right. Well, with that said, let's turn things over to the phone lines. It's been a minute since I've done this, so bear with me. I still hope I know how to do this. It's going to be his 84th call. It's none other than Gator Kirk, I think. It's in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Gator Kirk, are you there, my friend?
Good evening, fellas. How are you?
Uh-oh.
No, let's go! Let's go! It's Clemson week! Gotta tame those tigers, baby! Let's bring the juice! Let's bring it!
Kurt
Michael.
got Kurt got me because I thought he was going to start off slow. I was like, man, is he sick? Has he got what I got or had? But Kurt, excited. Certainly excited to be here. I'm certainly even more excited about the results I'm seeing on the field and the execution. So, big opportunity, Kirk, but this weekend. But what's on your mind, my man?
Two people kind of interested in Tay Woody
Mm-hmm.
and Thomas Castellanos.
Yes, yes. We'll start with Tay Woody. Tay, for those that missed it, Ryan Wright from Rivals had a good article on him today. Said, really, I'm going on these visits for experience. And then he also said, FSU is still my number one. He's coming for the Miami game. All those things sound good, but I'm not buying the experience thing. But I think my biggest takeaway from that, Kirk, is one, he's coming for the Miami game, and I think that's the biggest factor because you get him here for the Miami game. I think there's a good chance they can pull him back. So that's kind of where I stand on him. Obviously, I think he's taking visits just to make sure. I don't buy the experience thing, but he says even directly, I'm not interested in Auburn. I know it's close to home, but when you're going to visits for Georgia State, when Auburn plays Georgia State, and that's kind of my rule, when you go to games that are just non-marquee games, it puts more interest in there than probably the normal person. But I do agree with him that I think FSU is on his mind. I think FSU is the preferred place because he had such a great relationship with Atkins. I think he feels really good with him. So I think the biggest takeaway for me from that interview was he's coming for the Miami game, and they need him here for that Miami game to get him back in the fold. Because right now they're battling for Auburn, but he hasn't decommitted, so that's a good sign too. But at the same time, it's a must. He's here for the Miami game. He's told me he's going to be here for the Miami game, so that's a positive. That's where things stand. Certainly, still a battle with Auburn. And then Thomas Castanellis is, for those that forget, he's a guy they recruited heavily in the spring. He's committed to UCF, but he is a guy that wanted to play quarterback. I think FSU's open to him playing quarterback, but I think FSU wants him the most at athlete, which is running back, wide receiver. You could name an offensive position. This kid is very dynamic. He is one of the best overall athletes in the state of Georgia. I'm really high on Thomas. I think he can add a lot. He's also said that he's coming back for an official visit to FSU for the Miami game. They're working out the finalizing the details. I think if he comes back for that visit, I would have him on flip watch. He's a guy that he grew up an FSU fan. His cousin is Devontae Freeman. There's a lot of love as far as how much he feels about FSU. And I think he's also seeing kind of what we talked about at the outset, Aslan, about the development and how the team's looking. I think that's had an effect on him looking back at FSU. So he's certainly a guy I very much keep eye on. I think if he visits for the Miami game, I would say look out. And that's kind of my stance on those two guys.
All right, gentlemen, I appreciate it. As always, drink your DeLuna, support Warchant, eat Zaxby's, go Noles, and let's tame those Tigers. Y'all have a great night.
So good to hear your voice again, Gator Kirk. Hope you're well, man. Tell Kat we said hello.
I will. Thank you so much.
Gator Kirk, everybody. The mayor, Virginia Beach, Virginia. So you think Castellanos will be cool with not being quarterback? Michael?
I think he likes the position, but I think he'd be cool with it. I think if he comes back for the official visit, that signifies like, hey, I'm really serious about FSU. I think they can get everything comfortable as far as and two, I mean, what's the hurt? What's the hurt going to be if you give him a shot at quarterback? He wants to go out for quarterback. Say he flips FSU, he wants to go out for quarterback, and it doesn't work out. You can play him at other position. This kid is very dynamic with the ball in his hands. So kind of Jordan Travis like, to be honest.
Yeah,
When you watch him, he's very very athletic. Can certainly make the throws when you need to, and Jordan has shown that. And this kid kind of does some of the same things. I think the check mark's going to be if he comes for that Miami game. He came to the UMass game, which is another one. That's a big deal because that's a non-marquee matchup. That tells you he really is interested. He really wants to see what this product looks like. I think he was very happy with kind of how the offense looked and in the different ways they use it. And it doesn't hurt when you got a guy that's similar to you, like Jordan Travis is to Thomas, and you're seeing that stuff. I think that really gets you even more interested in FSU. So certainly the Miami game, he visits that game, flip watch, he's a guy to watch.
All right. I just think, yeah, I mean, to your point, I don't know how much like Mike Norvell is wanting to completely uproot sort of what he's been doing his whole career with quarterbacks. I think Kenny's definitely a big Jordan Travis guy. I would like to hear the conversation between Kenny and Mike when it comes to Castellanos, because I do think, man, if they keep winning football against Jordan Travis, I mean, I don't know how uniquely gifted Jordan is. He's obviously gifted. I don't, I remember like arguing with Corey about this. Like he thinks he's just a notch below Lamar Jackson. I'm like, come on, man, easy.
No.
But if Castellanos can maybe be something like Jordan and shoot with a better offensive line, maybe some better weapons on the perimeter, who knows, man? You could have a future.
And I don't think their status has changed. Is that they like him the most at athlete. I think their status is made consistent with that. But also, I think they would give him a shot at quarterback too. So I think the more the offense looks like it looks, it's going to be hard for him to say, "Oh yeah, I don't want to be there. That's my favorite team growing up." That's it's hard to ignore. And two, just the Miami game. You come from that environment, it's going to be a crazy environment. This place is going to be rocking. probably wouldn't surprise me if it's a night game with Miami coming to town. It's a rivalry game. So you get him there, you show the offense, and the offense still looks like it's looking where it's explosive and you're hitting these explosive plays. That's an offense I think he's going to want to be a part of. And I would, he would be a guy to watch for sure.
You want a phone call? Or you want a comment from? You want a question from YouTube, Mike? I'll let you pick.
Let's take a YouTube and then we'll go to the phone call.
Get you. All right, look at that. Armella question mark.
Yeah, not too direct, huh? Julian Armella. For those that missed it, Norvell went to see him a couple weeks ago in person. I think that's significant in itself. I think things have picked up as far as the momentum ever since Pritchett was out of the picture, and then certainly with Woody, the shaky ground there. I think FSU has certainly built some momentum there. I think there's some positive momentum with FSU. I think he will officially visit FSU. I think that probably happens for the Miami game. That's the sense I get from people that are close to his recruitment. And I think FSU is certainly one of the teams that are up there, but he has a lot of teams he's going to officially visit. I think he's already visited LSU. Obviously, they're going to a coaching change. Hard for me to see him ending up there, but I think FSU is certainly the team with the momentum that I hear the most with Julian Armella. Even said to Seminole, even said to fans. He didn't say this to Seminole fans. He said, "Follow my Instagram," and he had a picture of him in FSU gear. Now FSU does send those Instagram little graphics because they do an incredible job with graphics. So they probably sent that, but the fact that he posted using that one, I think that's important and tells you kind of that there's some momentum building there, and I think they certainly have a lot better shot than I originally thought. Probably about a couple of months ago. I didn't think it was going to happen, but now there's a strong possibility that FSU could pull Julian Armella.
I wonder who we'll have to root for LSU to hire to maybe turn Armella off, because I'm sure he's keeping an eye on who they're going to hire when he makes a decision.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the phone line then. Let's go to the Villages, where a man named Wesley resides, but we call him Wes here on the program. It's Wes in the Villages. Good evening to you, Wes.
What's up, Aslan? How we doing, Michael? Glad you're feeling better, buddy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Getting there. Not 100%, but I'm getting there. But appreciate it, Wes. I appreciate it, Wes. But what's on your mind, my man?
Hey, so like you, I'm disappointed about when Elijah Pritchett, he didn't commit. He went to Georgia. My question about him is, do you think he was premature with that? Was he basing it on the performance on the field? And then to piggyback off that, if we continue playing as well as we have these last few weeks and in the season strong, do you feel that it's likely to get him back in the fold, or do you just think Georgia's just too much at this point to get him back?
Well, first off, he's going to Alabama, but not Georgia. But he's committed to Alabama.
I'm in Alabama. I said Georgia. I got Georgia on my mind. My fault.
That's okay. He's committed to Alabama. I think, to be honest, at that time, Wes, I wouldn't blame him. It didn't look like FSU was going to win a game, much less more than one game. So it looked really bad and bleak when it was 0-4. Just didn't see any signs of doing that. And certainly he wants to go to a program that he sees development. He sees, productivity consistently week by week. Certainly Alabama is the top of the line when it comes to that. But yeah, I do. He is still communicating with FSU pretty consistently. So that one's not out of the picture. It's why I throwed him in the others to watch on the 12 to watch, because he's a guy that really likes Atkins, and now the communication's picked up a little more than what it was, every week. Certainly every week they've been good to do that. And I would not rule it out. I would not rule it out that he looks back at FSU, possibly takes a visit just to see what it's like, and then go from there. But it's not a guarantee. Say you win every game you got left that he comes back, but I think it greatly increases the chances of him seriously considering FSU again. I don't think it was premature, because at that time Alabama was the perfect pick compared to I think FSU was the team he really liked from the start, even the leader at some point, and I think everything, the wheels started falling off with the season. But certainly I think if they keep doing what they're doing, And it kind of starts with this weekend. If they win this weekend, and then say you win 2 more, and you're 6-4 going into the remaining, 2 games left on your regular season. Yeah, I think that they could get back in the picture and him come take another look at FSU.
Yeah, that's kind of was my thoughts. It's just going to depend on how the season winds down. So it's definitely still a chance, even if it
Yeah,
is.
I mean, I wouldn't call it like likely, but I would say there would be a shot because of the feelings he has about Atkins, the feelings he has about Norvell. I think he would say, "Hey, maybe I need to go look at these guys one more time and see how I feel," because the growth was really an important factor for Elijah, and he talked about that during the process before he made his decision. It was an important thing to be at a place that he knew that it's stable, he sees growth, and he sees it going in the right direction. So yes, he's still talking with FSU, and you're picking up the phone when a school's calling. You're still interested, or you're at least intrigued by that team. So it's just a wait and see where it goes.
And do you think the Trayvion Williams decommitment, was that more about him wanting to stay closer to home, or do you think that was the record, based on the record also?
I think it was actually a combination of probably both of the record, uh, development of where they're going, the growth, but also maybe wanting something closer to home. He's talked about coming to the Miami game, but if he doesn't come to that game, you might as well write him off. And the fact that they recruiting heavily, a guy close to your area, Eddie Kelly, um, I think, who does some of the same things that Trayvion does as far as his game. Both of them are strong side defensive ends. They do kind of the same stuff for what you're looking for. The fact they're pushing so hard for him tells me probably they know it's a outside shot for them to get him back.
That's cool. One last question. So about the quarterback position, I'm
Yep.
high on AJ Duffy. I just love his game, and
Yeah.
I'm curious with him enrolling early to really compete for the job. But my question, Jordan obviously is playing really well, but where he, I'm gonna say struggles, but his passing game, with what Norvell they like to run, I'm curious. Do you think they'll go for a transfer quarterback, or do you think they'll just ride with what they got and develop, with Purdy and Travis and Duffy?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question, and I think I could see them doing it if there's an experienced very productive guy that's a veteran that can come in there. They feel can compete for the job. I wouldn't call it likely right now. I'd say they're probably happy with the Chuba Purdy, the AJ Duffy, and the Jordan Travis, and what they have in that quarterback room. But I think if there's a guy that pops up that there's connections with, they know really well, they know what he does. I could see them bringing a guy in, but right now I wouldn't call that likely. It's not like I'm hearing like, oh, they're doing this for sure. I know people brought up Harrison Bailey from Tennessee, former 5-star, but he's never really done anything at Tennessee. I can't see FSU taking another guy when you already have Duffy. That's essentially like taking another high school kid, in my opinion. When you take a kid from a school that was highly rated, that hasn't really done anything at the other school, I think they're going to want somebody that's been productive, not a Harrison Bailey where you don't know what it is. Like they're pretty sold on AJ Duffy. Certainly, he's going to add a different dimension to that competition. I think Chuba Purdy certainly is going to be very heavy, and Jordan's doing what Jordan does. And the one weakness with Jordan is still seeing the field consistently. That's kind of what you're going to look for. So if those guys do it better, who knows who's going to win the job. But right now, I'd say Jordan's pretty much solidified himself so far in that quarterback race. But I think it's going to be a battle. But if they take another one, I haven't heard that it's likely. But I'll just say like if there's a guy that pops out to them like last year, like a Mackenzie Milton, I think they would jump at it.
Yeah, well, the question to that is, how would it impact Duffy? His feelings. So it makes you kind of wonder. I mean,
Yeah,
you just never know.
yeah, and that's part of the thing is why I don't think it's likely because you have one in JJ you feel good about. Chuba showed some nice things, although it's an overmatched UMass team, but you at least got to see what Chuba's capable of doing. He looked really smooth, everything was great, and then Jordan's been pretty solid in this 3-game winning streak. So you already have 3 guys. You don't want to overwhelm the situation or conflict. I don't think it's going to bother AJ. Knowing AJ, he's coming in there to compete, and he feels like he can win the job. So I don't think it matters to him. But I think it's just you start putting too many guys in there, and then it starts getting really just. Do you need that? It's just like I think it's going to be a situation where the guy has to be a perfect fit for them to do it. Sorry about that, guys.
Excellent. Well, thanks for everything, Michael. Glad you're feeling better. Aslan, thanks, buddy, for taking the call. You the man, and keep up the good work. Y'all, everybody, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well as Warchant.com, the best in the business. Y'all have a good evening. Go Noles, beat the Tigers.
That's right. Let's go, man. That's our guy Wes over there in the Villages, Central Florida. Stand up. Thank you for the call, Wes. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
We got plenty here on YouTube. Let's fire the cannons.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Eric Angel in Cincinnati. What's up, man? 20 bones. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you, man. Glad to see you're back, Michael, and feeling better. Noles need this 2022 commitment class to stay intact, hopefully. Any word on Destin Hill? January 22? Also, Marvin Jones Jr. to replace Jermaine Johnson next year.
Yeah, everything we've gotten is the same with Destin Hill. He's expected to be here in January. Answered that question a few times on the board. Yeah, there's no change to what we've heard there. I think FSU would love that. Marvin Jones to replace Jermaine Johnson next year. I have a forecast on FSU, and I haven't heard enough to change it, so that's kind of where I feel. But Marvin, obviously, he's got a lot of big official visits coming up. FSU's one of the big ones, I think, for the Miami game. So he's got that official visit coming up. He's also going to visit several other schools like Ohio State, Georgia, and so on. Maybe Texas A&M. So there's several schools that he still has left on the dock, but certainly he is still a must recruit for FSU to get, and they want him bad, and they're showing it, and the relationships are still strong. The communication is very active every day. So I don't think that's changed. And so really it's a wait and see if FSU can continue. And I think it's important too with Marvin, you continue showing this productivity on the field. You keep doing that, I think FSU will stay in a good spot. The way it will open up is if you really just the wheels fall off the wagon again, and then you have problems about where you're going. But I think as long as they keep doing what they're doing, I don't see them going backwards based on what I've seen the last 3 weeks. So I think as long as they keep that going, I think they have a really strong shot at Marvin.
I don't see them going backwards either, Michael. I don't, man. I like it. I like the optimism. I like the enthusiasm. Derek Adams is here, everybody. Thank you again, Eric. Appreciate it. Derek's here. Derek's an Omega man. Gets a little bit of that. Thank you. Thank you, Derek. Appreciate it. He's XDQ004 over on the Warchant.com Tribal Council. Do you know if FSU is recruiting Jaden Bradford from Chapin, South Carolina? Chapin? His dad is from my hometown area. I know he is a top 100 prospect for 24. He is going to be good. 3 exclamation points.
Let's do some in-person evaluation there, Aslan. Let's do it.
Let's do it here.
Jaden Bradford. I have heard the name, but I want to wait till I watch the film, and then I can kind of tell you guys once Aslan pops it up.
Well, first, let's get a little headshot, see what he's all about here. 6'1", 175, 4-star guy. Not shabby, not too shabby. Do you think they're embracing this whole dual threat thing that Jordan Travis is, Michael? Most of the quarterbacks they've had success with, Kenny and Mike, have been more traditional drop-back passers.
I think they want to have guys that are mobile. I don't necessarily has to be a Jordan Travis type. I think AJ Duffy can run too. AJ's got wheels. He can move. It's kind of Chubba Purdy, same thing. He can move. I think they want their quarterback mobile, but I don't think it has to be. Now, Chris Parsons on another level, and that's another argument, by the way. How that kid is a 3-star is a crime, man. That kid is phenomenal for those that haven't seen Chris Parsons. But I think mostly they just want a guy first guy. I mean, they want a guy that they want the passing to check off the boxes for them. As we're watching Bradford here a little bit.
Oh, there we go.
Nice wheel route.
There we
Nice,
go.
nice ball location. All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
strong arm.
he's got a nice arm. I would like to see him not hold the ball as low when he throws, but he's 2024, so that's pretty a common trait. But certainly can run. Showed his wheels there. I like him. I will check on him on Jaden to see if there's some activity with FSU. Certainly, they're a lot focused on. They got their 2023 quarterback in Chris Parsons, who I allude to, but this kid looks real deal. I mean, he looks good. I mean, I like it. Quick release, nice zip on the ball, sees the field pretty well. Seems to be fairly mobile. I like him. I'll check on that. I'll check on Jaden Bradford, but he definitely passes the eye test from what I've seen so far.
There we go. Thanks, Derek. Appreciate the question, man. I can't wait for one of these days where we do an early scout on a kid that's like a freshman. He ends up at Florida State, like winning games and stuff. It'll be, yeah, we remember talking about you. Let's keep it rolling here on YouTube. Phone lines are also open, so feel free to call in if you want to have your voice heard across the internet. Hypnotic Anonymous, did we offer Jacarius Peak?
No, that's the offensive lineman from Valdosta Wildcats. He did not get an offer. I was told by somebody that was around the visit that I think he maybe measured in, he was supposed to be on this profile, and you can pull his profile up, Aslan. Yeah, it says 6'6". He's not 6'6". He's actually 6'3". So he's a lot shorter than what I guess the profile says, and I'll have to get somebody to change that. But he's more in the range of 6'3". Definitely a guard, it seems, for sure.
Look at him. He looks like he's 37 years old, man. I don't care how tall he is. He's a grown man.
But yeah, so that's kind of a thing that worries you when a kid when you see 6'6". Not that the kids told him that. I'm just saying he's listed that way and he looks different when you see him in person. But I think the thing with Jacarius, I think they want to see him. I think they're going to go see him when they get a chance to go. Probably even this weekend. Go see him play, see what he looks like, see if he passes the eye test of what they're seeing, and then we'll go from now. For now, I'd say no on the offer, but that could change when they see him in person. But for now, I'd say no.
Keep rolling here on YouTube, the Michael Langston Recruiting Call-In Show. Hit the thumbs up button, folks. We certainly would appreciate that if you could. Let's see what else we got. We got Andre Elam says, "What's up, guys? I see FSU has interest back on my man Zion Young. Man, this Zion Young. I hope he takes it to Zion. He's been pumping him up forever, old Andre."
Yeah, defensive end, if I'm not mistaken. Good pass rusher, very good speed rusher, if I'm not mistaken. Aslan can probably pull him up. But they do have interest, Andre. I don't know if it's the full push that you want or feel like it is, but I definitely think there's interest. They're talking on the phone. There's communication, so there's definitely some interest there.
You can't pop them up easily. I mean, I might have to go through the old database on Rivals, but here's his huddle real quick, everybody. Oh, his phone number. Sorry, Zion. We just blew up your number here and your Twitter. At least follow his Twitter, everybody. Don't call or text him. That would be weird. Also, yeah, let's get to it, everybody. Everyone's got these long, protracted intros. All right. Well, it's like a good program, though, right?
Yes. Very good program. Very good. Yep.
There
Very quick. Good. It looks like a nice buck because they use them a lot of times rushing off the edge and rushing stand up. So it looks he definitely gets off blocks well. So I see that, but I definitely heard that there's more communication. I wouldn't say it's full fledged. Hey, we want you, but they're definitely strongly evaluating him, or a lot stronger than what they were. So yeah, that's kind of what's up, I guess, with him as far as the interest. So he has picked up a little bit.
Check out my guy Jaws is Murderum. I don't know. Something like that. But hey, this is what matters.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Thank you, Jaws. I'm not yet a pillar, but I've been here the entire time. Destin Hill, what's the story, guys? Keep up the good work. Go Noles.
People love Destin Hill, which I understand. Your receivers have been a real question mark for FSU all year, but it's still January. Jaws, it's that's the plan from what I hear. I haven't heard any change in that. Basically, it was a family issue that led him to coming in to the 2023 class or 2022 class. So that's kind of what happened with that. But maybe I'll go into detail at a later date. But right now, that's the expectation that he's supposed to be in here in January.
Thank you for the tip, though, Jaws. Appreciate it, man. We'll see if we can get maybe like an autographed football by Destin when he shows up, if he does show up. No reason to think he won't, but you never know. Mike Blackburn asks, Michael, any updates on Dutch Fork? That's Irmo, South Carolina. It's home of Auden Tate. Antonio Williams, receiver, punt returner. I see that he has FSU in his top 6. Ooh, not the top 8, but the top 6. But I haven't seen anything from FSU. I watch him a lot up here. He would be a great fit.
Yeah, he's a freak. For people that haven't watched, I mean, every Friday night I stay up till around 3 or 4 in the morning. I do these Friday night rewinds, and he is the most consistent playmaker at receiver. This kid is incredible. Great punt returner. He likes Dugans a lot. He's close with Burrell, who's already at FSU, who's also from South Carolina. He likes FSU a lot. I've heard the NC State game is when he would like to come over to check FSU out. I know he wants to officially visit Ole Miss, and I think he's already visited South Carolina. Maybe go over to Auburn. I think FSU is definitely a place he wants to check out. And ironically, he was on my call list, so you might get your wish that to find out even more, because I'm supposed to probably call him either later tonight or sometime this weekend that I can have an update on him. So I might look for maybe an update on Antonio Williams later this weekend. So yeah,
that's a move. Nice.
Yep. So he's a guy definitely I've had on my radar to give a call, kind of see where FSU stands and kind of go from there.
And yeah, man, if he's a kick returner, we could use one of those guys.
Oh, he pulled a little Terrell Buckley there. Faked like he was down in it and took it to the house. Nice. I like it. Yeah, he is a freak. I mean, I do this every week, and he's probably averaging like 160 a game on receiving. I mean, he has big games like every game. Dutch Fork is a really good team. I mean, that's a really talented team in South Carolina, and one of the best teams in that state. So certainly a team that I'm familiar with, and certainly a prospect I'm familiar with. And I hope to talk to Antonio, if not tonight, this weekend, and get a full update on kind of where FSU stands with him.
Who are these defensive coordinators not giving any safety help to these poor cornerbacks? It's not even fair. It's like child abuse.
I'm more concerned with the tackling by these teams.
All right, let's see this. Here we go. The moment of truth. Punt return. We need one of these guys. Okay. Cut it back inside. Cut inside. Cut inside.
You don't need to. He's got 2 blockers.
I know, but like anybody can run to the side. Yeah. All right. Okay. We like it, Mike. Good scout on it. We'll see what we can get on that.
Yeah, I like him. So I hope I have an update soon, guys. But yeah, he's definitely a game breaker receiver that FSU certainly seems to covet.
Camilo Perez, is FSU going to offer Asani Redwood out of Collins Hill? Looks like a beast.
That guy is the most popular. Yeah, I got 3 questions on the recruiting chat thread that we had to answer today. He is very popular. He's having a really good senior season. He plays on Travis Hunter's team. He has been very good this year. The only thing that's kind of red flag to me is he doesn't have an offer from anywhere that I've noticed on Rivals. But I watched his film, and his film looks really good. So he still looks a little raw as far as what you can get. As far as he might be as raw as a pass rusher and technique, so that might be kind of where the issues are. But I have heard he's a guy that FSU's evaluating. And that's really all I was told, that he's a guy FSU's evaluate.
Couldn't find. I'm striking out left and right here. Couldn't find his.
Yeah, he's
buried under there. He's buried on the.
I think if you go to his Twitter account, maybe. But here's some junior stuff.
Let's see how he looks like. Right. Oh, he's a defender, huh? I thought it'd be like Travis Hunter's twin. Oh, that's some brute strength, a little speed, a little brute strength, a little good combination.
Yeah, I want to say he has 11, all right, either 9 or 11 sacks in the season. I think on his Twitter account it has the senior season, but definitely seems like a edge rusher.
Okay, moving along then.
Yep.
How do you feel about Camden Brown? Asked King Jaw. Who are other wide receiver targets?
Yeah, you have Camden Brown, who they offered from St. Thomas the same night they went to see Armella. Camden Brown put on a show, had over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns in front of Norvell. That's never a bad thing to do it in front of the head coach. And then he's committed to Pittsburgh, but he's visited FSU like 3 or 4 times. Finally got the offer. He does feel comfortable with Pittsburgh, but he's going to officially visit FSU for the Miami game. That's what Camden told me when we did an interview with him. So that's one to watch that I think they're heavily involved with. I think Chris Bell, another one, is from Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken. He's a guy that they offered that was supposed to be there last week. I don't know if he made it, but he's a guy that they're active with. Kenyatta Watson's been all over that one. He's got good ties with this kid, from Mississippi. So those are kind of the main ones to watch. And then Kevin Coleman, which I've already discussed. I feel good about my forecast of FSU for him, the 5-star wide receiver. I think it's just a matter of whenever Kevin wants to do it. He's kind of hinted on Twitter that he might do it soon, and Dillingham retweeted it, Ryan Bartow retweeted it, but he still hasn't done anything. But I think FSU sits in the best spot there. I think in the season, like that North Carolina game really solidified kind of my position on Kevin Coleman. Once FSU got that win, got the ball rolling, got to 3-4. Okay, I see the growth now. I see where they're going. Now I feel comfortable with it. So, and Kevin Coleman, I think I would pick the FSU. I feel good about that prediction. When he does it, Scott, I don't really know. I mean, that's kind of up to him. He's talked about the U.S. Army game, but with Kevin, you just never know. It could pop up tonight, tomorrow, or next week. It could come any time.
Nikki asks, I can't be the only one wondering if there's anything new from our favorite 2022 recruit, Travis Hunter.
Nothing really new. I feel really good that he's going to sign with FSU. I know he took a few visits to Georgia, but I'm not that concerned with that. As I said, when my rule of visits, both of those visits were marquee games. I think one was against Kentucky, one was against Arkansas. Both of those teams at that time were in the top 10. That stuff doesn't bother me because kids have not been able to visit anywhere for good games. So kids going to go to good games. He lives like 30 minutes away from Georgia's campus. So certainly got a chance to go to a really good game. You're going to do it. I'm not that concerned over Travis. Now on the field, I've heard Travis might come back in the next few weeks. We'll see, but it's kind of a wait and see. We don't know for sure, but I'm not that concerned with Travis Hunter. The only way, and then he's supposed to be here for the Miami game. As long as he's there at that game, I don't think there's anything to be concerned with.
All right, very well. Like to hear that. Look at those ones. That's kind of cool, right? Number 1 national, number 1 is position, number 1 in the state.
Can go higher than 1. I mean, 1's the highest you can go. So
yeah. Blake Richard Manning asks, who's the next commit?
Yeah, that's a tough question. Really, I mean, could be Kevin Coleman, the guy we just talked about. I mean, he hasn't really set a date so he could be the next guy in line. But I don't think there's a guy that's like for sure that I'm waiting on that could pop any second. Now, I'd say Eddie Kelly would be one for me, defensive lineman out of West Orange over there in Central Florida. I think he's a guy that grew up a big FSU fan. FSU offered. He was here in the summer. They saw him work out. He plays tight end and defensive end. FSU wants him at defensive end. He's a guy I like a lot. I think he's supposed to come for the Miami game. I think that's a guy that I could see popping at the Miami game. So if I was picking one, I'd probably go with Eddie Kelly if I was doing one. But that's kind of a guess right now. But I know how high he is on FSU, and so he's certainly one. And then then we have to see what happens with the visits for that weekend. But there's really not one that's told me like, hey, I'm close to committing.
Charles and Monique Williams are both here.
Okay.
FSU recruiting anyone from Valdosta, Georgia. They've got a diamond in the rough with 2 Fs. Junior running back Charles Williams I wonder if there's any relation between Charles Williams and Charles and Monique Williams.
Could be. Could be. I have not heard anything, Charles, and Monique with Charles Williams. I know Aslan's already trying to pull his profile up so we can see some video, but I have not heard anything with Charles yet with FSU, or really pushing that hard for anybody in Valdosta that I've heard lately. So
let's
you know,
see. Let's look at this one. Here's him playing Madison County, playing
That's
the
a good one.
Cowboys. That's a good one. Okay. All right.
He's fast.
Valdosta, you guys are better than that. Better camera work. Come on, let's get a better tripod up there.
Yeah. They
Come on.
need you up there. That's it, huh?
I mean, sometimes less is more, right? Sometimes less is just
Looks
more.
looks fast, but I have not heard anything with FSU. But I have plenty of people in Valdosta that I talk to, so I will ask them about Mr. Charles Williams.
Oh, here we go. This is all right. A little slow developing here on this one. It's 4 minutes of him, but they're just can't figure out who's lining up where. Let's holler at me though, Mr. Williams, if you want me to help you edit your son's huddle video, though. I can probably do that and help out a little bit. So
Valdosta always consistently has some really good athletic guys. If you watch them, so I like it.
it's the dude, Michael Carpenter. Seems like we don't have a running back in this class. I understand we have a good set of running backs now, but is there any recruit on the horizon? Barnes? How about linebackers? Basante? Or are we hitting the portal?
I would say it's more likely that they hit the portal for a running back. I mentioned one guy on the board the other day, Destin Coates. He's originally from Tallahassee. He is from Georgia State. He has over 1,600 yards. It's like almost 30 touchdowns. I know Destin really well. I've watched Destin when he played at Rickards. Very explosive running back that would be a nice addition, although I'm pretty sure they're gonna be very selective with this last pick. They also have DJ Williams. I wouldn't don't cross him off the board yet. I mean, he is certainly a talented back to go along with those other backs that they have. But I would say more than likely they go to portal for a running back. I think a running back is probably they hit the portal. There's still I would say the Gadsden kid that originally committed to USC. He's one that I could see them going after. I want to say D'Anthony Gadsden out of Texas, Newton High School. He's a guy that I think there could be something there, later this season. But if it's not him, probably going to be the portal. Probably going to be the portal. And at Basante, it's the same as it has been. Miami, FSU. It's been close between those two. Both of those teams had some marquee wins that they needed to get kind of things rolling. Although there's a lot more heat on Manny Diaz than I think Norvell ever has to worry about. So certainly there's a threat of that coaching change, and that could help swing things a little bit more towards FSU. But I think it's still Miami FSU battle. He's expected to be at that Miami game, as you would imagine. So that's kind of where things stand with him.
Quantrell knows. Michael, he doesn't know this, so he's asking you. Lay us on Dante Moore.
Yes, 2023 quarterback from Martin Luther King High School in Michigan.
That guy, he looked good.
Yeah, he's very good. Visited FSU in the spring with his team. Latest interview we probably had. I still say Michigan, as the forecast suggests. I think Michigan's probably where he ends up. I think FSU communicates with him. Certainly, he's really good. He has a really good relationship with Dillingham. That relationship has been pretty strong, but I would say Michigan right now for him.
By the way, our guy Jaws says his nickname is Jaws. My last name is Derm. Somehow, Mr. Derm was taken, and of course, Jaws wasn't available.
Nice.
Right,
nice explanation.
Jaws
I like it.
Okay, gotcha.
By the way, before we get to the next thing, basketball recruiting, for those that haven't seen, Jeremiah Bembry, we did a great detailed Q&A. Hey, by the way, Jeremiah, if you're watching, appreciate it, my man. He was so detailed, really explained that. And I have a feeling FSU is going to get some good news on Friday when top 100 player guard Chandler Jackson announces on Friday at 3:30. I think FSU could get some more good news there. So Leonard Hamilton, got to give them a shout out. They're doing some work. So they're getting after it. By the way, they're playing right now.
Yeah, they
So, but last I checked, Austin Cox said they're up by 18 at halftime. So, but yeah, Chandler is a guy to certainly watch. I like FSU's chances there, so could be some more good news. I had to really force myself to make sure I remember this, so I want to make sure I get some plug for the recruiting for basketball.
All right, right on. Actually, speaking of, there's 2 minutes left in the game. It's 94-49. Florida State's up. They just got a bucket, Mississippi College. It's 94-51. I gotta record that post game.
Get 100 free tacos for everybody.
Let's wind this bad boy down. Let's see here. More of that. I mean, I don't know. There's just nothing specific. Linebackers. Yeah, what about linebackers, Michael? What about the linebackers? Are they going to do a portal for that? Are they going to recruit Bisante? What's going on with the linebacker?
I think they will take a portal linebacker, but I also think most of the recruits at high school are going to be from the high school market. You have Daniel Martin, who I think they're in good position for. I think we've covered Bisante, so no need to go through him. Demario Tola.
No, we didn't talk about him today. What's up with him? Is he no longer an option, or is he?
Who's that?
Bisante. Is he?
No, we just talked about him. I just said it's FSU Miami battle.
All right.
Yeah, so I already discussed him. Demario Tolan, who's committed to LSU. I think he eventually backed off that pledge. FSU is the team that's next in line. I think FSU is pushing hard. He's going to be at that FSU Miami game, official visit. Watch out for FSU there. I think they're a major threat for Demario. He really likes Marv, and certainly they need linebackers with speed, and certainly he can bring that. I think another one is his name is slipping me right now. New linebacker offer, Aidan. I'm gonna pull this up, guys, because I don't want to screw this up.
Oh, I got it. I got you. Aidan Vaughn.
Aidan Vaughn. Yes, he's another kid from Michigan. He is very explosive. He's a freak athlete. That's another one Kenyatta Watson's been on hard, and they just offered him. Fuller saw his film. They jumped on board, and Aidan did an interview with me. Tells me he's going to visit FSU after the season. He's kind of focused on the season, but this guy's a freak athlete. If you pull up his film, I want Aslan to pull up this film because he is a freak. Like he can do a little bit of everything. He plays Mike linebacker for his team. This is the first year he's played Mike, but I think eventually he's probably going to end up as the outside guy. But I like this guy's film a lot. I think he's seriously considering FSU. I think West Virginia, Georgia Tech, Kentucky, Minnesota, all these schools have just jumped on the last 2 weeks. I mean, it's been really heavy where things are picking up. So I think he's a guy to certainly keep an eye on for FSU at the linebacker position. And here's the highlights.
2-star from Michigan. That's where we're at, everybody. But don't judge a book by its cover. Golly, with all the phone numbers and everything.
Head coach.
Man. We'll find your number. It's 2021. If you got great film, we'll find your number, your Twitter handle. Just show us your film. Everybody. All right, here we go. Special teams. You got to make your hay. Oh, he returns kicks.
I'm telling you, he's a freak, man. I'm telling you. He's a freak athlete. Look at this dude.
Oh, there we go. Oh, look at this guy.
Look at him. I told you. I do not mess around, Aslan. If I tell you a guy's a freak, he's got freakish athletic ability. Like he's very good. They use him mainly.
I mean, bro, this looks like JV. This is like, I don't know.
Look at that.
Jerk, but I mean, he looks good, but he ain't playing against large human beings. But if Adam Fuller likes him, then that's good enough for me.
Yeah, they like this kid a lot. Once they watch this film, this is a kid that they're very high on as far as just off the film alone, and then certainly he can go. Like he has got some serious athletic ability. But here's a guy
linebacker. You think Michael? He's the defense, or
I think he's going to be an OLB outside linebacker. Although he's playing Mike, he just gets off block so fast that he is so explosive. Like off just everything. Look at that block. Just mutilated that guy. Like just mutilated him. Like these I just like this kid a lot. Are there better, more defined linebackers? Certainly. But this kid has so much high potential, what you can work with him. at the linebacker spot that I really like everything. Plays with a lot of viciousness, gets off blocks quick. Yeah, he can learn hand placement better, but there's a lot of things to like about this kid. I mean, when he sees what he's going, he's like a heat-seeking missile. Like he just goes after it. So, yeah, I definitely. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Man amongst boys, man
I
amongst boys.
just I Yeah, some kids, you know what? You can't. Everyone can't be defined at the linebacker position. Some of them, you take on potential and what they can add to your skill. And if there's anything FSU needs at the linebacker core, it's speed. And this kid adds a lot with that. You can work with the other stuff. I think he would be a great addition for them.
All right, let's take two more. Carol asked, any potential players visiting on the next home game?
We'll have that soon, Carol. Your next home game is going to be NC State, so I'll get to that weekend. I do think there's going to be an influx of solid visitors. I think most of the major visitors are going to be for that Miami game, but I will have the visitor list for that. Obviously, we're still compiling things, so it's still a little early to come out, 2 weeks from now for a visitor list. But I will have something and certainly post that on the site, Carol.
And last one, Charm 850. It's a good one to maybe go out on. So I guess give us a sort of summary right now where we're at with 2022. Guys wavering, or is everybody pretty solid right now?
Yeah, we've covered Antavius Woody. I think he's the main one. I think the rest of them are pretty firm with FSU. I think they're pretty, especially after the turnaround. So I think that's really the only one for me that I'm that much concerned with is Antavius Woody. Now, some people mention Sam McCall and some people mention Travis Hunter, but I'm not that concerned with those guys. I feel pretty good about their commitments, and I think the rest of them are pretty solid. So really, Antavius Woody, and if he comes to the Miami game, I think you can get that changed. So you can lock him down or reel him back in. So I think that's really it. The rest of them, I think, are on board and ready to roll.
And I lied. Khalil at the buzzer. There he goes. $5. Just wants to let everybody know that Devon Mortimer is the most underrated prospect in this class.
I agree. I don't disagree. He is explosive, Santana Moss-like when you watch this kid. He played St. Thomas, I think, last weekend, had a 93-yard touchdown against St. Thomas. That does not happen against Aquinas very often. He is just electric. When he has the ball in his hands, he's electric. He's one of the best punt returners that I think FSU has recruited in a long time. I mean, so he'll add a lot to your special teams, but I agree with him. He's definitely one of the most underrated prospects in this class. He is electric. I mean, when he gets the ball, it's strike up the band, baby. It's over.
This is him playing St. Thomas Aquinas. Oh, quality.
Yeah, here's the 90 plus. He is gone. Like history.
They got a safety over there to help out.
It don't matter.
No.
There he goes.
Oh,
See ya. See ya.
No. Oh,
Yep.
wow.
You ain't catching him.
Oh, okay.
He's got wheels, like big time. He's one of the fastest players in the country. Could also run track at FSU. He is very firm in his pledge. So look at that athletic ability. Like, yeah, he's very special. FSU got a gem in him.
We can take maybe one more. I'm keeping my eye on my other monitor here because Leonard Hamilton's post game's coming up, and I got to run to that when we go on that. Amp Knight asks, do you think if we win out, we can get to a top 5 class? They're currently number 10 right now.
Yeah, I don't think it gets to that point unless you just really start getting some guys, throwing a Pritchett, Coleman, Armella, Marvin Jones. Maybe, you can get in the argument. I would still probably put them around 7 because everyone's going to get recruits, commits. I don't think 5's likely, but I think top 10 is definitely attainable. Certainly, they have to keep doing what they're doing, but I would sense for top 10 as being attainable and then top 5.
Jason Burnett, if it was only that easy, J-Man.
Yeah, Kelvin Benjamins don't grow on trees, Jason. There's very few that are Kelvin Benjamin-like. I don't know one that I've seen that's close to that. Maybe Jaden Gibson, who's going to Florida, but even he's not Kelvin Benjamin body control like what Kelvin does. So I'm still looking for that, Jason. I haven't seen a Kelvin Benjamin-like guy.
Briley, Michael, seems like a win Saturday would put us in position of needing one more win and good showings and rivalry games from holding this class together. Do you feel the same way?
I think they're holding it together pretty well now. Certainly, if they win, I think my job's going to be very busy. I think I'm going to get a lot of calls from recruits if they win this game because they'll be 4-4. Like I said, the opportunity to win 6, and then you go on the road, you beat Boston College, you're going to a bowl. You're 7 wins, which is just ridiculously to even think that way, that they had a chance to do that. But definitely, I think if you win this game this weekend, it solidifies everything as far as where you're going 100%. But I feel like they've done a good job of holding the class together. And I point out that North Carolina game still. I think that really shifted things. But yes, if you win, it's certainly going to solidify that.
If these guys are committed right now, man, even if they go 1-5 down the stretch, I don't, because they're not going to lose games by 3 scores again. Like the losing by 20, that stuff I just feel is in the past. So I can't really imagine. Like maybe maybe like a guy like Woody shakes loose because Auburn looks good and it's a hometown Alabama thing, which is, that always kind of happens. So I feel like regardless, they're kind of in a good spot. What are you doing Friday night, Michael? Where are you going?
I might go to a game. I haven't decided which game yet. I'm going to talk and figure that out. I might go somewhere. But, well, there's a good
game. Say go watch Valdosta Lee, man. Come on.
There you go. I might do that. Where are they playing at, Charles?
Yeah. I mean, either way, easy drive for you.
Either way, I'm gonna look it up. I might go to that. Well, I haven't been to a game in like a couple of months, so because of everything I've had, but I definitely am interested in that one. You got Willits, you got Sap, you got Peak. Yeah, I think I might go to that one.
I can't keep track of the time, Michael. Who was it last year or is it this year? Whatever that linebacker that was committed to Memphis that they were going after. I think it might have been like grades or was that last?
Yeah, that was the last class. He didn't really have the grades. So I don't know where he ended up, but it's at Valdosta. Yeah, I might do that. I'm down with that.
What about our guy Jaron Reed? Is he still an option or is he?
Jaron Willis.
Yeah,
Jaron Willis is still there in linebacker. Certainly have a commitment from Quayshawn Sapp. So yeah, that's a good reason for me to go to Valdosta.
All right, right on. We'll be in Duluth, Ira and myself.
Nice.
Staying overnight on our way to Clemson to get the victory all on camera and everything. So
let's hope so. That would be big.
Yeah, don't forget after the game, 10 minutes after the game, post-game show with Gene and Tom. So get involved on that. Anything you want to add on our way out here, Michael? Good job as always, friend.
Not too much. I mean, we did the 12 to watch. I really, for people who haven't seen it, it's really detailed. So guys, that's kind of what you want to go look at. Certainly they have that. Antonio Williams, I'm going to try to get up with him soon. So I'll have that feature. And then certainly if it's a big win, I plan on getting up with a lot of recruits. Hopefully it is. Hopefully they keep executing the way they're doing and beat the Tigers in Death Valley. I will definitely have a lot of coverage on post game of how the recruits feel about that.
Last one, DJ Ferg. Are we going to finish first in the ACC in recruiting?
Right now, I'd say yes. I'd say they'd be. If they're not first, I think they'll be in top 2.
Well said. He's Michael Langston. Thanks so much for watching the Michael Langston Recruiting Call-In Show, part of the Warchant.com family. Head over to the PRB Premium Recruiting Board if you have any more questions. Michael will take those all night. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. Michael, as always, man, thanks for your time and your knowledge.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.